Good morning, friends. We continue our reading of First Kings this morning. Thank you for joining us. Good morning, Susan. Good morning, friends. Oh, I gotta turn my volume down. Okay, so we are here. Here's the broad view, the big picture view. We a little bit more specific than that. We are still in the first 11 chapters. So we're in the reign of Solomon as king. But we're more specifically here in chapters 5 to 8. Solomon builds a temple for the name of God. And as it turns out, Solomon is building other things as well that aren't mentioned here, like a palace and even a house for one of his wives, who is the daughter of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. We resume this morning at chapter 7, verse 23. In the left-hand column, you see the complete Jewish Bible text. That is what I will be reading. In the right-hand column, you see the New Revised Standard Version Updated Edition. I'll make reference to that from time to time, especially since reading a Jewish Bible means oftentimes coming across the names of things as they are known in Jewish tradition. Things, persons, places. And so sometimes those can trip us up, like the most common one, King Solomon. In Jewish tradition, is his name is Shlomo. So, friends. Good morning, Mom. Verse 23, I said, right? Yes, verse 23. So, and we're jumping back and forth at this point between, are we talking about the temple, or are we talking about the palace? And at this point, we are back to talking about the temple. Let's read. And of course, this is Solomon doing all of this. The general pronoun he is referencing King Solomon or King Shlomo. He made the cast metal sea circular, 17.5 feet from rim to rim, 8.75 feet high, and 52.5 feet in circumference. Under its rim, 300 gourds encircled it in 2 rows. They were cast when the sea was cast. It rested on 12 oxen, 3 looking north, 3 looking west, 3 looking south, and 3 looking east, all with their hindquarters toward the center. The sea was on top of them. It was a handbreadth thick. Its rim was made like the rim of a cup, like the flower of a lily, and its capacity was 11,000 gallons. He made 10 bronze trolleys, each one 7 feet long, 7 feet wide, and 5¼ feet high. They were designed with panels that were set between the corner posts, and on the panels between the corner posts were lions, oxen, and cherubim. Cherubim, remember, is cherubim. The corner posts above were similarly designed. Below the lions and oxen were wreaths of hammered work. Every trolley had 4 bronze wheels and bronze axles, and its 4 legs each had cast supports, which were under the basin, with wreaths next to each. The opening of the stand into which the basin was inserted was 18 inches high. The stand was round, resembling a pedestal, and it was 2½ feet in diameter. On the stand were carvings, and the outside was square, not round. The 4 wheels were under the panels, and the axles for the wheels were attached to the trolleys. Each wheel was 2½ feet. The wheels were made like chariot wheels. Their axles, rims, spokes, and hubs were all cast metal. There were 4 supports at the 4 corners of each trolley. The supports were attached to the trolley itself. In the top of the trolley was a circular support, 10½ inches high, and the trolley's corner posts and panels were attached to its top. On the sides of the panels and on its corners he carved cherubim, lions, and palm trees, according to the amount of space each required, with wreaths surrounding. According to this design, he made the 10 trolleys. All of them were cast from a single mold, so that they had the same size and shape. He made 10 bronze basins. Each basin's capacity was 200 gallons and had a diameter of 7 feet. There was a basin for each of the 10 trolleys. He arranged 5 of the trolleys on the right side of the house and 5 on the left side. The sea he placed on the right side of the house toward the southeast. Hiram made the ash pots, shovels, and sprinkling basins. With that, Hiram completed all the work he had done for King Shlomo and the house of Adonai. The 2 columns, the 2 moldings of the capitals on top of the columns, the 2 nettings covering the 2 moldings of the capitals atop the columns, the 400 pomegranates for the 2 nettings, 2 rows of pomegranates for each netting, to cover the moldings of the capitals atop the columns, the 10 trolleys, the 10 basins on the trolleys, the one sea, the 12 oxen under the sea, the ash pots, the shovels, and the sprinkling basins. All these articles that Hiram made for King Shlomo in the house of Adonai were of burnished bronze. The king cast them in the plain of the Yarden, the Jordan, the Jordan River, in the clay ground between Sukkot and Zartan, Succoth and Zarathan. Shlomo did not weigh any of these objects because there were so many of them. Thus, the total weight of the bronze could not be determined. Shlomo made all the objects that were inside the house of Adonai, the gold altar, the table of gold on which the showbread was displayed, the menorahs, lampstands, that's one we know, I would think. The menorahs, 5 on the right and 5 on the left, in front of the sanctuary, of pure gold, the flowers, lamps, and tongues of gold. The cups, snuffers, basins, incense pans, and fire pans of pure gold, and the hinges of gold, both those for the doors of the inner house, the especially holy place, and those for the doors of the house that is of the temple. Thus all the work that King Shlomo did in the house of Adonai was finished. After this, Shlomo brought in the gifts which David his father had dedicated, the silver, the gold, and the utensils, and put them in the treasuries of the house of Adonai. Chapter 8. I'm going to start reading a little bit. We won't get a whole lot here because the timer has run out, but we'll dip our feet into chapter 8. Then Shlomo assembled all the leaders of Israel, all the heads of the tribes and the chiefs of the paternal clans of the people of Israel, to King Shlomo in Jerusalem, to bring the ark for the covenant of Adonai out of the city of David, also known as Zion. All the men of Israel assembled before King Shlomo at the festival in the month of Ethanim, the 7th month. All the leaders of Israel came, the Kohanim, the priests. Interesting that the NRSV says the priests and the Levites. There's a distinction made there. Kohanim, I'm pretty sure, doesn't make a distinction. I think it's a safe thing to say the Kohanim were a singular body, and in that singular body, all the priests are Levites, but not all the Levites were priests. But they're all Kohanim. The Kohanim took the ark and brought up the ark of Adonai, the tent of meeting, and all the holy utensils that were in the tent. These are what the Kohanim and Livim. Oh. No, take that back. I was comparing apples. There is a distinction here made. I was looking at the wrong spot. Kohanim in verse 3, just priests. Verse 4, that's where I was looking at. I saw priests and Levites. Kohanim and Leviim. Tent of meeting and all the holy utensils that were in the tent, these are what the Kohanim, the priests, and the Leviim, the Levites, brought up. King Shlomo and the whole community of Israel assembled in his presence were with him in front of the ark, sacrificing sheep and oxen in numbers beyond counting or recording. That, friends, is where we're going to pause, and next time we'll pick up at chapter 8, verse 6. Thank you for joining us for our reading this morning. Good morning, Don and Linda. In a few moments, in another live, we'll pray morning prayers. Peace.